On this episode, I wanted to talk about some of the lessons that I learned from a recent trip visiting a friend in Portland. And technically, she lives on the Washington-Portland border. And regardless, it was a great time, a few days, to get out of my little bubble of Laguna Beach and explore the Pacific Northwest and just be in a different environment. It's so important when you can. I know it's a privilege to pack up and go visiting a friend, right? Like, you need funds to do that. You need time and energy, but I crafted my life to do that. So in this episode, I'm going to share 3 separate takeaways from this trip. So the first takeaway I want you to start thinking about is doing the damn thing. When you really miss somebody, when you make a connection and shit, you haven't seen them in months, years, or maybe you haven't even met in real life yet. Maybe this is an online person. Whatever it is, like, I just was reminded of how important it is to prioritize meeting up with people that you fucking love, that you love spending time with. My friend on this trip, her and I started our relationship 100% online. I never even met her in person, but we Zoomed. Is that a verb? We met on Zoom. And we met multiple times. We had multiple conversations on the phone. Like, this girl is just my soul sister. We have so much of our story is the same. And it was a no-brainer that, yeah, this girl's going to be in my life for a long time. I can't decide how often or that we're going to talk or anything like that. But nah, she's a true blue for sure. And I was reminded that I just make time for people that mean a lot to me and to make plans with them. Yes, she lives in a different state, and I do have other friends that live all over the world that maybe I can't visit, but damn it, I make it a priority to call them. I make an effort to reach out and say, hey, how are you? And if I'm feeling a little bitter that I'm carrying the load, like I'm the one initiating first all the time, or if I'm noticing a pattern of that, I talk about it. I'm like, hey, the last 3 times I don't want to count score or anything like that, but just hey, I've just noticed I've been the only one reaching out, what's going on, and just to have that kind of neutral foundation. But anyway, I digress. The lesson here is just to remember the people that you want to see, make fucking time for them, because we're all not going to be on this planet for very long. Yes, we do have a long fucking time, right? We're going to live into our 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, God willing. But it's just so important to do the damn thing. Book the fucking plane ticket, right? Yes, get your finances in order. Yes, if you have children or dogs, babysit, get your affairs in order. But please, for the love of God, if you love someone and you love spending time with them, at the bare minimum, give them a phone call, dude. Just do the damn thing. Quit with the excuses and really own up to, no, I want to see this person. I'm going to make it happen. The next lesson that I learned on this trip was kind of in the same realm of, do people prioritize you in their life? And what does that feel like on the receiving end when you're not a priority? And the lesson that I was kind of hit with, her and I share the same values of connecting and maintaining bonds. If there's someone that is an incredible connection, whether that's platonic or romantic, I water that plant, right? I feed that animal. I feed the creature. I feed the relationship. I nurture that shit. But I learned that not everyone's like that. And that could be from family history, nurture and nature. I mean, there's a lot of components that some people don't make the relationship a priority. And to not, for me to be a little more gentle with myself, a little more gentle to the other if I'm not receiving that, right? But just on my end, that lesson of make people a priority, that's what it's for me. Maybe you're listening to this and it's like, nah, this doesn't really apply, Paige. That's not really who I am. That's cool. But I just want to let you know there are people in some relationships that you have that are truly thinking about you all the time. They may not be saying it. They may be off in the distance. You don't hear about them, but they're probably thinking about you a lot. So keep in mind that there are people in this world who do want to make you a fucking priority. And lastly, lesson number 3 that I wanted to leave this episode with: prioritize fun, dude, and play. It's so important to be this playful creature, to play in the wilderness, to laugh, to enjoy yourself. Not everything has to have an agenda. Not everything has to be achieved or productive, results driven, solutions focused. Like, fuck that, dude. When was the last time you just played? Like, I booked this trip to see my friend to literally hang out and play. Did we decide some restaurants and do a little bit of planning? A little. But for the most part, the city was our oyster. It's like, plug in a location in your phone and just like walk around. Like, it's just so fun to let yourself loose. Like, we spent like a few hours just in a bookstore, right? Like picking up different books, crystals, like sprays, oils. Like, it was just so fun to not have like the big clock watching over me of like, oh, you gotta do this, oh, you're gonna be late for, like, I don't know. What I loved about the trip was not only like being in aura with my friend, like just being in existence with her and talking and sharing and connecting and growing our bond, but just chilling, dude. And prioritizing fun and play. Like, what sounds nourishing today? What sounds creative today that we could do? And then one day we literally did nothing. We like played board games, we watched movies. It was raining, so it was like a perfect like inside chill day. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to leave you with that end of, when was the last time you prioritized play and just being fun? Just like enjoying yourself, dude. I can't stress it enough. Please have fun in your life, for God's sake. I'm begging you. What is one thing you could do to have fun today?
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others. Post about it on social media or head over to your favorite podcast platform to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Subscribing and posting a review helps to improve engagement and is essential for the podcast to be discovered by new listeners. Thanks again for listening, and remember, every day provides a lesson. Take care.